In the upcoming video, since you're assembling, I will show you how to find the pins on MOSFETs and whether it is an N-channel or P-channel. Because MOSFETs are not in the transition state, they do not have a bipolar semiconductor like in N-channel devices. We will see what the MOSFET consists of and some tricks on how to measure it. So I will first draw here an N-channel MOSFET. As we have learned in the diagram, with the arrow pointing inward, the neat channel. We will say that it has three terminals, the gate, the source, and the drain. The gate is G, the letters, the source is S, and the drain is D. We will call them that now. Here's the gate, the G. Above is the D exit. And below is the S, the gate. So this is a MOSFET. We see it has a D here, which is the drain, and below this is a transistor. We see it also has a diode between S and D that faces the negative side, which is the body diode at D. So let's make a MOSFET transistor. The same applies to this one too. Above is the D. Below, with the arrow pointing outward, is the S. And both are here. But now it looks downward toward the S. And the pit. So this is the pitch, or the pi. Now to find the pins, I will use a marker to mark in red and black where we should place the multimeter probes to easily locate the pins. So in the N channel, we know that it is biased with a positive voltage to start conducting with the positive and with or at the D here to bias it properly. The positive must be located at and the negative of the multimeter. Then we have the two red ones and one black, as it appears. Now for the P channel. We know that in order to this specific one conducts, we multiply it. Negative at the gate, that is black. And the two-way, its negative is down. At S, its positive terminal is on D. So we will measure the voltages with the multimeter. We will measure again with the ohmmeter. And in this case as well, we will measure the X with the multimeter. And time will measure again with the ohmmeter to see the little legs and in the transistor. And of course, if the MOSFETs are correct. So to do this, we will take advantage of the diode that exists inside the MOSFET and the capacitance that is created at the gate. It has a capacitance here, and the capacitance will help us hold the last state that we give it, whether it is the positive or the negative, and especially to maintain the bias for us. So let's try it out practically to see. We have a MOSFET here. We don't even know what it is, whether it's P, N, or anything. We're trying to find with the ohmmeter where the diode is located. I'm probing the pins until it shows me a diode indication. There it is. Here is the diode. We see that the diode is on the second and third leg. Over there is definitely the D. And the S, we don't know where the D is and where the S is, but we know the first leg. It is definitely the gate. We will raise the positive signal to send to the gate once, and we will bring it back. Let's see if the situation changes. We said that 1 is the gate. Let me make it on another little piece of paper so we can see it analytically, so that we understand it. As we found it, we found the second one. Here we mentioned at points 2 and 3, so the gate is definitely at point 1. This is the only certainty. So let's go again. The 2 here are at 2 and 3, correctly isolated. So I lift the plus, Put it on the gate, then turn it back. Nothing changes. I lift the plus, take it to the gate, then turn it back. Nothing changes. I lift the sin, take it to the gate, then turn it back. I see here that its state has changed. Sometimes it even grows. It hasn't reached 0 and it's sent. I'll do it again. We see here that it changes. We have loaded the flavorful sensor with plus. And it slowly discharges and goes back again towards the breadboard. So since we applied positive voltage and checked, this MOSFET is an N channel. So we know that this MOSFET is N channel. So we know it is N channel. The only thing left for us is to find the D and the S, which if we connect correctly, as we had made the black one, it will be the D, since it is still portable. I export it, I finish the special community. We see here the middle one is the D, since it is my plug, and the edge one is the S that remains. So we found that the specific MOSFET works correctly, that it is an N channel, and its legs are exactly like this. One is the G, the second is the D, and the third is the S. Well, let's move on to another one, though. I did the same thing again. I'm trying to find opportunity 2 here. I'm not saying that I'm here, and very correctly, of course. Only that way will it show me. Here's the final diode, so 1 is again the gate. 2 and 3 are the D and the S. So I put the minus on the gate and go back again. I see that it changes state and lights up quickly again. I don't discharge its persistence very quickly. This happens whether it's my hands, the stylus, or the paper that I touch. I need to place something on the anti-static pad. Well, it shuts off. It remained at 0. It's not discharging from anywhere. It will only discharge if I apply the positive. So with the negative, this particular paper discharges very quickly. When you connect it to the anti-static, the transistor doesn't charge at all. So I do it again. I first apply negative voltage to the gate. I return back. You see that it is 0. Always negative. 0. I get a positive with the red at the gate. I turn back. I have the diode. The situation changes. So with negative and the red at the gate, I turn back. I have the diode. So the voltage is negative. So the MOSFET is an enhancement type device. P channel, the first one we said is the gate. And now we will look at the other 2 pins. As we said, how we have connected them. These are also included. It is the red one in the middle and the black one at the edge. So the red one is the positive. It is the D. The D will be in the middle and the S at the edge. We found the leads again, and the state is correct since it changes if we multiply it. Let's look at another one. I'm trying again to locate the private section. Here I find a short circuit. I'll do it with back climbing like this. I'll grab the little legs again to remove the short circuit. Doesn't go away. I'll do it with back climbing. Let's see which specific MOSFET is short-circuited. Its 2 little legs are therefore useless. We can now see this short circuit in other MOSFETs as well. If we have removed it and checked it in our measurements, it won't be short-circuited. This one will not be short-circuited until it is found, and it should be discharged. The leakage current inside meaning if I touch it with the power supply, it will be short-circuited again. Here, nothing will change. We see it as it is, stranded. To unstrand it now from here, whatever I decide to place it, I just need to touch my finger with all the small legs. I have discharged the nesting panel, and here we have the filter only inside. And this is a way to control the musts. So that was the video. If you liked it, you can like it. Follow me on my channel or on the Facebook group. Thank you.